Nowadays, it's more important for all the dental practices to be out there into the digital world.
Dental assistants are such a key part of the marketing part of the practice.
More and more people on the social media channels nowadays are preferring to watch a video which looks like way more organically shot and filmed rather than the all shiny and nice videos. You don't need a professional videographer as long as you have that nice patient on the chair who is happy with your service with that brand new smile, and you have an iPhone in your hand. That's all you need nowadays.
Hey everyone, welcome back into another edition of the Dental Assistant Nation podcast. My name is Kevin Henry, the founder of Dental Assistant Nation. So glad you joined us. I'm excited about today's podcast, and I'm excited to bring in Denny Mladenov to talk with us today. Denny, how are you, man?
Not bad, thank you. Like a very busy day. Thank you, first of all, for having me on your podcast. It really means a lot for me. And I'm really excited to have a chat.
Absolutely. And I'm glad to have you joining us from the UK. So thanks for taking time out of your schedule to do that, man.
Yeah. A bit of a rainy day today here in the UK, but not something unusual.
Well, tell us a little bit about you and tell us a little bit about OrthoGrow, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm the founder of OrthoGrow. So basically, OrthoGrow is a company where we look after the paid advertisement of orthodontic and dental practices, and mainly using paid advertisement like Google Ads and Meta Ads in order to find new patients that are either for Invisalign treatment, braces treatment, implants, or for like all of these dental related services. I found the company a few years ago. Me personally, I'm from Bulgaria and I came here in the UK to study at University of Dundee. I graduated business economics and marketing, and that's when my journey into the dental industry started.
Well, one of the things that you talked about with me via email is the fact that you believe very strongly how dental assistants are such a key part of the marketing part of the practice. And I'm just going to ask you the 30,000 foot view question. How do you see dental assistants being so important in that role?
Yeah, so I believe that nowadays it's more and more important for all the dental practices to be out there into the digital world, because you can achieve and you can reach so many people, whether it's via a story or a post or a paid advertisement. So what I see with all the practices that we are working with, that if you integrate a very detailed marketing system, whether it's through social media management or paid advertisement, like you can reach some great results. For example, like the average return on investment that we're getting for some of our clients who do and execute all the tips that we give them, is that we see an average of around like 15x of what they spend, like return on investment and return on ad spend. So that just shows the power of digital marketing nowadays if it's integrated the correct way into your practice.
And do you see a lot of digital marketing involving dental assistants, whether that's in having them faces of the marketing campaign or just having to know what the marketing campaign's about so they can answer questions for the patients when they come into the practice?
Yeah, so I think nowadays it's really important to have a good mixture of both. Unfortunately, in more and more competitive places like London, for example, here in the UK, you see that race to the bottom in terms of pricing. But we at OrthoGrow believe that yes, price is very important, and at the end of the day, consumers are making their decision also based on pricing. But we also believe that brand development of the practice and is very like equally important. Like, for example, if you have an orthodontist who completed more than 15,000 like Invisalign transform or braces transformation, or you have an orthodontist who completed like more than 20 years of orthodontic like treatments, you definitely need to mention that on your website, across your social media channels. So nowadays it's very important to show your expertise and to show it to all the people out there.
How important are patient testimonials today, do you think?
Oh, I think they're one of the most important things. And by testimonials, we are not only talking about the early 2000s where it was only like a Google review or Trustpilot review. Like nowadays we're like building like quite a lot of our digital assets based on the feedback that we're receiving from patients, not only via written testimonials, but also like video testimonials. For example, a very interesting tip for all of your listeners will be like a little secret that we are using is that in all of our meta advertising, we're trying to include as many patients actually participating in the videos and being part of the video ad by either sharing their experience or saying what made them choose your practice over the practice that is just around the corner.
And I know in so many practices that the dental assistants will often be the ones recording these videos, whether they're testimonials or maybe a patient in the chair, whatever it is. Is it okay in today's world to have something shot on an iPhone or whatever it might be to use in marketing materials?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a very interesting trend. So there is a recent study that was made at the beginning of 2025 that because we are a year of digital marketing where everything looks so polished and so professional, like all these podcasts and everything, that actually more and more people on the social media channels nowadays are preferring to watch a video which looks like way more organically shot and filmed rather than the all shiny and nice videos. So it is very, very important, like, and can be very useful to just to grab your iPhone, for example, and go and film that patient who's on the chair rather than using it as an excuse and say, oh, we don't have a professional videographer. No, you don't need a professional videographer as long as you have that nice patient on the chair who is happy with your service with that brand new smile and you have an iPhone in your hand. That's all you need nowadays.
Again, we're talking with Denny Mladenov, talking today about digital marketing and the dental assistant's role in that. And one thing I want to ask you about is I get on TikTok, I get on Instagram, I see dental practices dancing, kind of showing their personalities as well. Is that important in today's world to kind of show what's behind the mask as well?
I'm a big fan of that. Like, of course, you still need to maintain that professional level and professional level of your practice. But if you can do that very nice, healthy mixture of like showing that TikTok videos and TikTok dances where you're actually showing your members of staff are having fun and it's not like the usual 9 to 5 place, and at the same time combine that with some before and afters and great results and testimonials, I think that's the key to success. I'm definitely not a fan of the older approach in the social media where you go to a practice social media account and it's all about before and after photos, like it's like a catalog of before and after photos. I think that's now long gone and people are like even scrolling through it without even paying attention because they've seen so many of those posts. But if you do like a healthy combination of before and after, some nice TikToks, dance videos, and maybe like some other celebrations, for example, if your orthodontist achieved over 2000 TVs like cases or someone is having a birthday in the practice, just show celebration and show the human side of the practice.
So I'll ask you a question a dental assistant asked me earlier in the week. Excuse me. Is that she's a younger dental assistant working in a practice with an older dentist, and the older dentist doesn't want to do anything in terms of social media, in terms of showing personality. He wants to get in, do the dentistry, get out. What advice would you give to a young dental assistant who's trying to bring maybe an older dentist into this fun or to show the personality of the practice?
I've definitely been at that stage, like at the beginning of my career. So, what I would suggest to that person is start with the small steps. Like, start with taking a photo of your dental assistant or like your member of staff who's having a birthday today. Like, start by asking a patient for a short video testimonial. And once you build that catalog of extra like stories and content, and then you achieve some results, just show it to the dentist and say, hey, we achieved X results because we did Y. And believe me, like no dental like practice owner will go against if you tell them and show them the actual proof. I believe that dental practice owners are very methodological people, so you need to actually show them some results before they agree to step into that journey, and that's totally understandable. They're very busy people. They're in the practice like all day, and they're focused on achieving those great results. So if you bring them some new ideas, oftentimes they don't see the gold in it. But if you do like a bit of a side job that you don't necessarily require their time, and after that they show them the small results and achievements that you managed to achieve, like they will be definitely up for it. So long story short, just start with those small steps and those small type of content that it would require to the dentist style.
So, as we start to head toward the end of 2025 and look ahead to 2026, if a dental assistant's out there wanting to kind of kickstart the social media side of the practice, is it as simple as getting that patient testimonial or doing the birthday, something within the practice, as you mentioned? Or what would you think would be a logical first step to really get that kickstarted toward the end of the year?
I think that the very first stage is to find a few people inside the practice who have the same passion about social media, because it's a very, very hard thing if you're a one-man show. So if you find another dental assistant who is also passionate about social media, you can film together like a few videos where you do a few challenges, for example. And once you start sharing that with the wider team, they will just see that like it's something normal, so you can welcome more and more people from the team. So yeah, first try to find some mind-wise people inside the team so you can make those first steps.
So we have a lot of American dental assistants who listen to this, and I always tell them how important they are every day in the practice and everything that they do. Would you just give us a little insight into how important the dental assistants or dental nurses are in the UK whenever it comes to orthodontics or any other kind of treatment, what you've seen in dental practice?
Oh yeah. Like they're probably in my opinion, they're the second most important person after the orthodontist or the dentist, because I see them as the right hand of the orthodontist or the dentist. They're always there to support them and by either taking notes or welcoming the patient, and so the patient is feeling welcomed or help with anything. So I think in general, like a great team, you need to have a great orthodontist or a dentist who achieves great results, but you also need like a very, very likewise minded dental assistant who is ready to offer exactly the same service that the practice is offering.
Well, Denny, I appreciate the insight and I appreciate the tips. And I want to make sure if our listeners have more questions, if they want to pick your brain a little bit, where's a good way to learn more about you and maybe OrthoGrow as well?
Yeah, so the two best ways to get in contact with me is, the first one I would say is maybe LinkedIn. So if you go to LinkedIn and search for Denny Mladenov, you should be able to find me. And you can always ask me a question. Also at OrthoGrow, we have that special free service where, for example, if you're doing any paid advertisement on Google or Meta ads and you think that you don't achieve the results that you want to achieve, we're more than happy to review your ongoing campaigns, like completely for free, and just give you some feedback how you can improve it. And the second point of contact is on my email, which is Denny, so that's DENNY at orthogrow.co.uk.
And we're going to have every bit of that in the show notes. So it's going to be very easy for you to find, very easy for you to get in touch with Denny and to make sure that you can ask the questions that you may have. So, Denny, I really appreciate the time and the insight today, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us from the UK.
And again, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for listening to this episode of the Dental Assistant Nation podcast. Hey, we want you to be a well-rounded dental assistant. We also want you to be one of the thought leaders in the practice. So we love bringing in new ideas, new thoughts for you to get to that role and to make sure that you're thriving in your role every day. Until next time, it's Kevin Henry, founder of Dental Assistant Nation, signing off. And as always, wishing you nothing but success ahead.